afternoon, Northwest. Welcome to this month's edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Kate Dawson.
And I'm Anaya Zaman. With the start of winter sports, you'll see a new coach on the sidelines of the girls' basketball team. Lily shares that story.
As winter sports teams start their season, their coaches guide them through practices and games. This year, returning coach Jeff Piggy steps into the role as the new head coach for the girls' basketball team.
I've been coaching for about 14 years now. This is my second year coaching at Northwest. I was an assistant coach last year under Coach Cheadle. She got an assistant coaching job at a Division I college. It was a great opportunity for her to expand her and grow her career.
Though Piggy is new to this role, he hopes the girls' bond grows on and off the court.
The off-season they've been together. We have a good group of seniors that have been here and some transfers and underclassmen welcomed in. You don't really know how the bond morale really goes until game start, but for so far it's been pretty good.
He definitely is focusing on team chemistry this year and just kind of even with preseason conditioning, at the end he would have us talk to someone we don't know and get to know them, so he's definitely helped boost that.
It's been really good. We're able to make a lot of jokes and it makes it really fun for us and stuff, and I think it just makes the atmosphere more fun and it's easier to play in when you're having fun.
He has a little bit of a different playing style. He wants to play fast and get out and go on the court, and so that's always nicer, especially since a lot of our team is guards. We can move pretty quick. And then also he's definitely more focused on strong players, and so we do a lot of weights. When past we've been doing more conditioning, so we definitely like stronger athletes because of that.
I feel like he really cares about our opinion and stuff, and he really values what we say, and he understands the balance of we are still going to school and some of the girls on the team have jobs and other things outside of basketball, and that's kind of hard to balance, but I think he does a really great job balancing all that for us.
He displays a lot of confidence in us, and he shows that through letting us play and knows that we know we make the right decision.
Seniors, they have grown and gotten better because they're going to be in new roles. I'm happy that they're growing and getting better, but my goal is just to have a winning season with the student athletes. If they grow as individuals and as people, everything else will take care of itself.
The coach and players hope the season goes well as it begins with their next game scheduled for December 16th. This is Lily Mesmer for Husky Headlines.
Some students at Northwest like to challenge themselves by taking difficult classes. However, some do even more.
Here's how students balance school and a job. We go to Rama for that story.
From working in retail to manning the lifeguard post to scooping ice cream, students have busy schedules when balancing schoolwork and athletics.
So with school starting and having volleyball, work, and school together, it's been a little difficult, obviously, but I feel like I've been doing it for so long that it's kind of second nature. So I balance working in school by keeping a good schedule. I have a calendar and I make sure that I know everything that I'm doing each day, and I try to follow strictly to that calendar.
I think that Emma balances school and work pretty well. Obviously, a lot of demands with everything that she does, but she really has done a great job of knowing the limits of her schedule. Her high school experience, she's been able to make decisions of where to work, but definitely letting her kind of lead the way.
While working 15 hours a week, Brooke Bates, a fellow student athlete, emphasizes the importance of time management.
I think I just have to make sure I prioritize my time and making sure I get done with everything I want to get done. In my sport, I just have to make sure I'm prioritizing my time wisely and have my month planned out.
It's been great. There's some times that it's a little bit challenging for Brooke to balance work and school and activities, but I think that's realistically getting her ready for the real world.
While working 12 hours, some students find it more difficult to balance their time.
It's been pretty difficult because I feel like I'm not really good at time management. For me, I balance my work and school because I do most of my schoolwork or anything extra like homework. I do that at school. I don't really get stressed from work very much because I have a very low-key job. I just go in and sit in my little lifeguard chair for a few hours.
She actually does a pretty good job of that. She does a lot of work at home so that she can get things done. Balance between working and being a student for Lily, she really does a good job managing it on her own.
While managing school and work isn't easy, parents share tips on how to achieve a healthy balance.
Have a good work balance. Don't overdo it because you have your whole life to work.
Really find something that is going to be able to obviously give you money, also to be able to bring you some joy.
Though maintaining a busy schedule can be difficult, students find ways to balance their activities over time. This is Rama Rahima for Husky Headlines.
While balancing school and activities, Northwest students are still able to help their community.
As the holiday season is upon us, there are numerous opportunities for students to get involved in the community and help others. Northwest freshman Haley Reynolds participates locally in a volunteer service that isn't just a part of the holidays.
I do Backpacks for Hunger at Church of the Resurrection, where we fill bags with food that get taken to schools in downtown Kansas City and Missouri. So it's in an assembly line that each food is in a grocery cart, and you just go down the line and you have like your bag and you just pick up each food.
This happens every Wednesday at Church of the Resurrection at 4 p.m. The Reynolds work very hard all year round to help others. Reynolds works closely with her father, who is a supervisor of Backpacks for Hunger.
The Backpacks for Hunger program serves about 1,800 kids a week who have some food insecurity. They're in our Church of Resurrection partner schools, of which there are 10, and those 1,800 kids are all pretty much on the free lunch program at their schools. There's 3 teams to make this possible. That's a setup team, and then a team that actually does the assembly, which is all the volunteers from the church, and then a delivery team. And between those people, there's anywhere from, on any week, 60 to 70 people that volunteer their time to make it happen, and about 190 volunteer hours every week that goes into making up those 1,800 bags.
The volunteers agree that their work is very rewarding.
It's just a good feeling that you're actually doing something for people in need. I work on the tubs, and we sort all the tubs out per teacher, per school, and we put them on separate skids. They are ready to go for putting the backpacks in that then get delivered to the schools.
Well, we started this about 5 years ago when Haley was 10, and we just wanted her to appreciate that there are kids her own age that were suffering from some food insecurity, and this was a great way to help and to really touch the food that's going to be going into a home of a kid that doesn't have enough food for a weekend.
I'm proud of them for getting help, and I hope that we can help them in the best way that we can.
It is always great to help out others. Anyone can volunteer at Backpacks for Hunger and make a difference for those in need. If you are interested, visit their website, resurrection.church/backpacks/. This is Kate Dawson for Husky Headlines.
Have you noticed all those signs in the lunchroom?
Yeah, I have. I spoke to some staff members to get some more information.
When students walked into school on Wednesday, October 22nd, they expected everything to be exactly the same as before. However, as they made their way to lunch, they noticed some new signs reminding them of certain lunchroom expectations.
Yeah, this idea to have signs everywhere is kind of like a reminder for everybody coming at the cafeteria. It's actually a Blue Valley Northwest idea. It came from the principal to us, and they provide all the signs, all the letters, the posting in the cafeteria, so to make sure we work as a team.
So mid-October, if I recall, so about a month ago, we got an email from our school district, and they had been asked by Charles Rathbun, who's in charge of food service over the whole school district, for all the high schools to make it so students couldn't bring their backpack into the food serving area. And they wanted it done pretty quick because they were experiencing at the high schools students stealing items. I talked with my direct supervisor at the school district, Shelley Nielsen, and said, hey, before we do something that drastic, because we realized that would inconvenience students and teachers, I asked if we could do some proactive measures. And so that was our strategy, and they agreed that we could try some things first.
Students who noticed the signs had various reactions when they were first put up.
I feel like stealing was pretty popular just because of how easy it was. But I feel like ever since they cracked down on it, people have gotten a lot more like I don't steal. But I know people who have said that they've stolen before, so I feel like it's a good initiative.
I think they're a good way to encourage people to not steal.
I mean, it's a very subtle way to put it out there, but at the same time, I feel I know it's important because the school does have a budget, and stealing's just not the right thing to do.
Whenever I see the signs, it's if you are caught stealing, you'll be reported to the administration. I don't know if this is relevant, but it's I don't know why they include the if you are caught, because that just encourages people to not get caught, I think. And it doesn't actually prevent the problem, because I see people do it every day.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a shame that we need them, because the lunch ladies work hard to keep everybody honest and everything.
If caught by staff on camera, consequences for stealing items from the lunchroom can include detention and calls home. Though the number of thefts has gone down, administrators and lunch staff want to remind students to always be honest.
If they continue to lose product, we wouldn't want that to increase the price of the items for our students and for our families. So we really wanted to make sure we addressed it first before things got worse. I do want students to know, like, if this doesn't work and we continue to get information maybe in January that this is happening on a large scale again, then we may have to go to that or start the year next year. But I just would rather use common sense and try to just be responsive and work with our students.
I would say as long as we follow rules that are given to everybody, everything is going to be fast, everything is going to be smooth, and you're going to take your lunch very well.
Next time you enter the lunchroom, be sure to check pockets and backpacks to ensure all items are shown at the register to keep a respectful Northwest community. This is Anaya Zaman for Husky Headlines.
There's plenty of good happening in our building. Recently, teachers were surprised by ways they can uplift their classrooms.
Every year, the Blue Valley Educational Foundation awards teachers grants following the application process that takes place in September. Board President Susan Tiedemann and Board Member Patrick Wertzberger talked to us about the mission behind this foundation.
So the mission of the Blue Valley Educational Foundation is to enrich educational excellence throughout the district. And that's through a lot of different means. The largest gift that we give every year is our grant making, our fall grants. We also call those our Excellence in Education grants. And that's where we distribute about $402,000 throughout the district.
What goes into deciding the grants is ultimately hours and hours of review by our very willing board members who serve on their grant committee. There is notification sent out in the fall to teachers to submit grants. This year we received approximately 175 grants.
The Educational Fund does not simply notify teachers when they have been awarded a grant. They celebrate with their very own surprise squad.
So the Surprise Squad is made up of a lot of different people, and the way that we roll out Surprise Squad is by feeder. So each feeder area are one bus. So there's a group of volunteers that go out. There's 4 buses that go out through the entire district that day, and they visit every single one of those schools.
My role within the Surprise Squad is I was the first person in the door when we went into these teachers' classrooms, interrupted their classes, and announced what we were and what we were doing. Very quickly, I had to share with the students what we were doing today. I described it as, this is like the wish list that you put together for Santa Claus. These are things that you want in a teacher's role that they want and need for their classroom. They complete a grant request, they submit it to the foundation, we review those grant requests, we vote on funding. And so the Surprise Squad is the culmination of that entire process.
Blue Valley Northwest teachers were surprised with a total of 11 grants from the Blue Valley Educational Foundation. With these grants, the teachers can look forward to improving their classes and activities. This is Salma Salem for Husky Headlines.
Some teachers are making an impact by showing their personalities in their classrooms. Jaden shows us how.
Qu'est-ce que tu as fait de plus? J'ai mangé une crêpe à la brasserie. Oh, vraiment?
Teachers' passions don't stop at textbooks. Many have personal interests that add character and charm to their classrooms.
I just bought one Minion figurine or one little, I think it was like a little stuffed animal for home because I thought he was cute. And eventually they started overflowing, so I brought some into school. Just, decorate my room. Students definitely ask questions. They go, Madame, do you like Minions? Well, of course, or I wouldn't have them here. But probably 10 years worth of Minions altogether.
While some collections add a lighthearted touch to their rooms, others have a deeper meaning.
So when I was in college, I was tragically dumped by a boy. And for the next week, I would go to class, and sitting at my lab table would be a little Grover figurine. Just basically my friends trying to cheer me up from that week. So it kind of represented just my friends caring for me and just trying to make me feel better when I was down.
Beyond cartoons and characters, one teacher has built an impressive classroom library.
When I started in Kansas City, Kansas in 2008, we didn't have a functioning library, and I really didn't have any books for my students, and most of them didn't have books at home. So I started collecting books, and really my goal is always, I want my room to be a reflection of me, but also want to feel like a place that hopefully when kids walk in, it feels like a place you want to spend time. You'll notice I've got some vocabulary words on the back. But then I also have really random stuff, like I'm a big Elvis Presley fan. So it becomes sort of a collaboration with just students I've had in my 11 years here at Blue Valley Northwest.
Collections can even help students in a more personable way.
I think it's important because it helps show the teachers on a more human level. I feel like we can act or feel sometimes that teachers are just there to teach and do nothing else, but each of them having little personal touches in their rooms kind of gives them that human vibe and sometimes makes them a lot more approachable than just a teacher with a boring room that doesn't reach out to students.
Teachers' Collections will continue to provide a fun and comfortable atmosphere for students. This is Jaden Gines for Husky Headlines.
Visual artists have a unique place to showcase their work. Claire gives us a closer look.
The art gallery, located near the front entrance of the school and all down the 500s hallway, showcases the art students' best creations.
Its purpose is to display extraordinary artwork made by our students here and really display pieces that they just recently finished. It's a great way for the school population as a whole to get a glimpse into what's happening down here in the 500 hallway in our little corner of the building.
The wide variety of art in the gallery encourages students to produce their best work.
I really love how there's like a variety of art in the art gallery. It's not just all paintings or not all drawings. There's ceramics, there's jewelry, and I think that variety makes it really special.
It's very encouraging to walk in and see works that you've made or works that other people have made, and you know, especially for younger kids who are will be attending BVNW in the future, I feel like it's important for them to see how developed our art program is and maybe look up to this, as in, you know, I could be an art student in the future and I can make works like these and I could have my works in the gallery.
The gallery also gives students the chance to view pieces that have been selected from more prestigious galleries.
If we have pieces from students that we consider to be exceptional, we will submit them to art shows all around the city, sometimes even the country. So for example, there is a gallery called the Tim Murphy Gallery, and they do a high school art exhibit every year. And only 100 pieces total were selected, and our school got 6 or 7 pieces into it.
It was kind of crazy to me that my work had been chosen for something like this, and it's really nice to have something that you take seriously for the first time actually be recognized. When people think of portrait projects, I feel like sometimes they think of like a senior photos things, which is obviously okay, but I wanted something that had a little bit more of a serious undertone, especially just something that would resonate with like what I wanted to create. And this is what happened.
The art gallery provides a space for student work to be seen and appreciated. Stop by the gallery today to see the art department's recent pieces. This is Claire Blackington for Husky Headlines.
Speaking of showing off, Game Day Gines gives us our first look at winter sports.
Season's greetings, Northwest. I hope everyone's staying warm. After an eventful fall season, let's take a look at a preview of the winter sports season. Turning our attention first to the pool, the boys swim team is diving into the new season with high hopes. They begin the season with a meet at Blue Valley Southwest, followed by the Olathe Invite, and are looking to ride the wave of success from last year right into this one. Shifting gears to the hardwood, the girls' basketball season tipped off with a tough road game at St. Joseph Benton High School. Next, the girls will look to take the crown at the DeSoto Hardwood Classic before traveling to Pittsburgh later in the season. In a similar vein, boys basketball is preparing to kick things off at the Hayes High School Shootout and look for success at home with the Husky Hoops Classic coming up right before winter break. Girls wrestling is here. The girls are ready to showcase their strength as they head to Spring Hill High School for a meet, and then look ahead to the Lady Raven Invite at Olathe Northwest High School prior to winter break. Following the girls, the boys also kick off their season with a meet at Spring Hill and look to make a statement with a dual meet against Park Hill South before closing out the month. After bringing home the gold medal last month, I talked to 6A cross-country state champion Jacob D'Souza in this year's first edition of HSN One-on-One.
Last month you won state for cross-country. Can you kind of walk us through how you felt in the moment when you crossed that finish line?
So when I crossed the finish line, I was just feeling really excited, really happy that like all the work I put in just paid off. A little bit surprised because going into it, I wasn't sure if I was gonna win or not.
So can you tell us more about kind of the work you put in behind the scenes that not a lot of people see?
Yeah. So a lot of the work just consists of running 6 days a week and doing cross training, doing a lot of the work with my teammates, doing like some calisthenics work and things like that.
So what would you just say to anyone who's kind of running and getting into running and wanting to get up there with you?
I would say that it takes a lot of work, a lot of consistency, but when you put in the work, it pays off a lot, and it's fun to see the progress.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much, Jacob.
And to close out this edition of HSN, let's take a look at the Husky signing day. On December 3rd, 10 Northwest athletes committed to play their sports at the next level. 5 are heading to the collegiate level in baseball, while 3 will play football. The Huskies also sent athletes in soccer and volleyball. Big name schools are in the mix, with universities like Washburn, Pacific, Florida International, Ottawa, Creighton, and Oklahoma all scooping up talent. In addition, we've got athletes heading to Kansas City and Southwest Tennessee community colleges, as well as Missouri S&T. The ice is slick and winter sports are in full effect. And remember, stay sporty, Northwest. Speaking of ice, Husky Headlines is set to square off against hockey in this edition of H2 Versus. We head over to Ryland to tell us more.
Welcome back to this month's edition of H2 Versus, where we put H2 staff members up against Northwest's talented students and staff. This month, our very own Claire Blackington took a trip to the ice with sophomore hockey player Owen Filing.
I've been playing hockey for probably 10 years since I was about 5 or 6. Competitively, I've been playing hockey for probably 5 years since I was 10. I play for the Kansas City Jets, and I've played with them through high school, so this is my second year on the team. We practice 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, so it's big around there, and so that's where I learned to skate, and that's where I really fell in love with hockey.
Although Filing is an experienced player, Blackington is new to the sport.
I have never played hockey before in my life, except in middle school with like a really short hockey stick and a rubber ball. I have pretty much no experience in hockey. All I know is just clips that I've seen online and just things that people have told me, but I don't know what it's like.
Despite Blackington's lack of experience, she performed well.
I was really surprised with how well Claire was skating at the beginning. She really picked it up quick, and then the passing and stick handling was also not much of a problem for her. And obviously with it being her first time with a stick and skating, that sometimes throws people off, but I think she did really good.
I feel like I didn't do that good. I think at the beginning I had a hard time keeping the puck close to me. It got away from me a lot, and I was shooting. I wasn't very good at getting the puck to go upwards, but other than that, I think I definitely got better as it went on. Initially I was not doing so hot, but you know, slowly over time I started to get the hang of it.
Although Blackington excelled according to Filing, she still has plenty of room for improvement after her first time.
I definitely did not do good at shooting or skating backwards. When Owen told me how to skate backwards, I tried to mimic the movements that he was doing and like follow the instructions, but it wasn't working out for me. And then just with shooting, I just wasn't able to get the puck to go upwards into the net. It went in, but it wasn't like the best shot.
I think she was the worst at probably shooting. She needs to work on leaning on her stick a little more to keep her balance. I think a way she could improve is just getting on the ice more, whether that's with friends for fun or just going out and having fun by herself on the ice.
While there are a lot of ups and downs when it comes to hockey, the real question is whether Blackington will pursue a future in the sport.
Hockey's a sport where you kind of have to pick it up young so you develop quickly, but I think if she really wanted to play and she practiced a lot, she could find a team that would want to have her.
I don't think that I have a future in hockey. I think that I'll continue like ice skating, but playing hockey and just focusing on all those things at the same time, and I know it's also very aggressive. I don't think that I could handle it.
Although hockey just wasn't it for Blackington, Filing has some words of encouragement for others who might be seeking to play.
Just go out and try it, because you do it once and you might fall in love with it, or you might not like it, and then there's no problem.
If you are interested in playing hockey, grab a pair of skates, a stick, and head to Blue Hawk to try it out. This is Rylan Jara for Husky Headlines.
Nice work on the ice, Claire.
Another team making changes this season, bowling, now training with an all-new coaching staff.
The winter sports season is in full swing as the Unified Bowling Team season winds down and the regular season prepares to kick off. The Unified team found success this season with 2 new coaches.
I started coaching Unified Bowling 4 years ago. The head coach at the time, Sarah Dirks, was looking for someone to be her assistant, so she asked me if I would be interested in helping out with Unified.
Following Dirk's departure from Northwest, Stolman stepped up to the bowling team's head coaching position. With the new responsibilities of that role, she turned to fellow teachers for assistance.
Well, to be honest, Coach Dirks left this year, and so they were looking for someone, and my own kids have been really involved in bowling through the years, and it's something I enjoy watching and being a part of, and so that opportunity came, and I was lucky to get it.
To some people, it's just a bowling team, but to these coaches, it's way more than that.
The love of unified bowling in general was really what drew me into bowling at Blue Valley Northwest. So, just being a piece of Special Olympics in general, my son's been in Special Olympics since he was little, and I appreciate the opportunities that provides.
The most exciting thing from this unified season was just definitely getting to see the three teams, so the growth in the program, but also just the success that the teams have had and the growth that all the individual athletes have had.
Not only does it mean a lot for the coaches, it means a lot to the peers who have helped with the unified bowling team.
I like being able to help out with the athletes and help them to achieve their goals while also having fun. I took peer tutoring as a class, and it made me enjoy being with the athletes, so I wanted to have more time and be with them longer.
Coming from different perspectives, there are a lot of different meanings about the unified bowling team.
I think it means lots of inclusivity and everybody is treated the same and all have the same experience.
The unified bowling team finished 4th at regionals, qualifying them for states, where they got 15th place. They hope to continue this success for years to come. This is Addie Pope for Husky Headlines.
It's not just sports seeing new faces.
The Academic Council welcomes 2 new students to the team.
With numerous clubs, sports, and arts at Blue Valley Northwest, students can get involved in many ways. Some students, like Junior Nova Rule, choose to go beyond their activities to represent their peers at a district and state level.
My official title is the 6A female representative for the student advisory team. And then for the district board, I'm the superintendent's student pick to serve on the academic and activities board.
The district has multiple committees that allow our community to come together and share their voices in topics that are related to our district. The Academics and Activities Committee was formed to focus on those 2 areas, and it's made up of parents, board members, building and district level administrators, and students.
We just talk about all of the updates in Blue Valley. We talked about in our first meeting the strategic plan that they just made and what our thoughts were on it. And there was a lot of open discussion that happened with it.
Members agree that working on this board with Rule is a collaborative and rewarding process.
Nova's super smart, so she has a bunch of stuff to say, and I think I can build off of stuff she says, and it gives me more confidence, obviously.
She is a supporter of school athletics and activities. She really brings a lot of perspective, whether it's as a representative of the building, a voice from Keisha, and just her own personal opinions.
Having a dedicated space to voice change is important to those involved on the board.
I'm just proud to be able to say that I do this, and it's a huge responsibility to have, but I almost feel like it gives me just a drive to just keep going and keep advocating for these students.
I think I'm not just speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for a lot of athletes. I get to bring my views from being in private school and then playing sports at a high level, because I would say not a lot of athletes are chosen for these type of things.
I think it's important that students have a voice, because in the end, we do all of this for them. And so it's important that we listen to students.
As changes are made, these students continue to represent Northwest and the Blue Valley School District at a higher level. This is Scarlett Chu for Husky Headlines.
Cultural clubs at Northwest are a great way to get to know your background.
On this month's edition of Husky Worldwide, we take a closer look at the Black Student Union, Asian American Club, and Hispanic Latino Leadership Club. They work to provide spaces for students of all backgrounds and ethnicities.
If you are completely surrounded by what you're accustomed to, the average person will stay closed-minded, so you won't become as educated if you're not around people that are different from you. That's education. You have to have different ideas, yeah.
These clubs provide education and activities surrounding their respective cultures.
We have meetings regarding
different like cultural activities or just stuff that we would like, or we did stuff growing up like loteria or like our soccer game. We also like to do sometimes like informational stuff.
I think one sort of stigma around cultural clubs in Northwest is like, oh, if I'm not part of that culture, I can't participate or I can't join in a club meeting. But it's like, at least for AAC, we'd be more than happy to see anyone else from different cultures. That's why we have these like events like the Diversity Assembly and participating with the other clubs.
The different cultures in Northwest had the opportunity to come together and share the unique aspects of their communities in a combined event.
Us uniting kind of shows that like we don't have to be separate. Like we can all come together as one group and we can do things together despite like our differences and our different cultures and backgrounds.
When these different cultural clubs come together, there's just no bad thing about it. You have your group here, but yet you're sharing what your group is about, and then you get to experiment and experience something different from yourself at the same time.
I feel like it's very important as like minorities and also just culturally diverse like school, share our culture, share like what's different, what makes us like also super like and connected.
Northwest offers many different communities, clubs, and cultures waiting for you to explore. In the future, consider scanning that poster or going to that meeting with a friend to experience something new. This is Jack Cowman for Husky Headlines.
That's it for the December edition of Husky Headlines.
Have a great day and a wonderful winter break, Northwest.